Cristiano Ronaldo reacts as Al-Nassr beat Taawoun 2-0 in Saudi Super Cup 2024 semifinal, says, "Here we come." Cristiano Ronaldo shined again for Al-Nassr as he scored a goal and secured an assist which helped Al-Nassr book a spot in the Saudi Super Cup 2024 final. Scroll down to have a look at the social media post shared by CR7 after Al-Nassr's 2-0 win over Taawoun. Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo equaled Michel Platini's European Championship goal record on July 6, 2016, becoming the tournament's joint highest scorer of all time. Take a look at his Euro stats and other great players from past. He scored his 9th goal against Wales during the 2016 semi-finals, leading his team to the finals to be held on July 10, 2016 Euro competitions. 5 things Cristiano Ronaldo won't tell his grandchildren about the 2016 Champions League final. His free kicks were rubbish. Have a look at any newspaper or website on Sunday morning and you'll be greeted with a semi-nude Cristiano Ronaldo lapping up the adulation that followed his match-winning shootout spot kick in the Champions League final against Atletico Madrid. Pictures are just how Cristiano would have planned them in his dreams. And when his son, Cristiano Ronaldo Jr., has children of his own and calls them all Cristiano Ronaldo Jr., the family can get together and Cristiano Ronaldo Sr. can tell all the other Cristiano Ronaldos about the day he single-handedly won the Champions League and show them the photos to prove it. What he won't mention is that his penalties were much more effective than his free kicks, which he hasn't been good at for ages, as typified by the late effort he blasted miserably into the wall. He wasn't as good as Stefan Savic. Having photographic proof that he was the key man in the final means Ronaldo won't ever have to mention that he wasn't actually the best player in the match, or even one of them. In general play, the Real Madrid talisman was fairly ineffective and was outshone by everyone from his nemesis friend Gareth Bale to former Manchester City liability Savic. Atletico's Montenegrin defender became something of a laughingstock during his short, calamitous spell in the Premier League a few years ago, but he didn't give Ronaldo a kick at the San Siro. His grandchildren do not have to know this. He had a full body wax before the game. If you had to pick one thing that shone through about Ronaldo's evening, it's that he couldn't wait to get his top off. The explosion we witnessed after the decisive penalty was not just about a man winning a football match, but a man who desperately wanted to show millions of global TV viewers the results of his intensive pre-final grooming regime and had just had to wait 120 minutes to do it. The famous white jersey was literally ripped away to reveal a torso as hairless and shiny as a bikini model waxwork. An enduring image, although if Ronaldo was a real showman he would have let the waxing slide for a couple of weeks and surprised us all by unfurling a Ryan Giggs-style chest rug. He got off with Pepe. When all the little Cristiano Ronaldos are gathered around the fireplace in 50 years' time, CR7 will almost certainly omit to mention that the first thing he did after Real Madrid won the Champions League was lie on his back and endure a prolonged sexual advance by his ugliest teammate. Cristiano and his compatriot Pepe have obviously gone through a lot together for club and country over the years, but it was still slightly surprising to see them canoodling openly on the turf following the match. Not that it wasn't also beautiful too, in a way. A weird way. He didn't single-handedly win the 2014 Champions League either. The most remarkable thing about Ronaldo grabbing the Champions League glory for himself is that it's not even the first time he has done it. 2 years ago, the same thing happened. When Real were leading Atletico 3-1 in the 120th minute of the 2014 Champions League, the decima having been safely secured, Ronaldo scored a totally inconsequential spot kick, then ripped off his shirt in wild celebration and ensured that all the back pages the following morning would be dominated by his six-pack. Maybe Ronaldo wasn't the best player against Atletico and isn't as good as he used to be and can't take free kicks anymore, but one thing that can't be denied is that the man has an unparalleled sense of occasion. 6 and out. Cristiano Ronaldo's 6th and last European Championships came to an end as Portugal paid for an impotence that stemmed from affording their captain privileged status. They went out on penalties, João Felix rolling his spot kick against the foot of the post as everyone else scored, but after a second successive stalemate after 364 minutes without scoring. If it is an equally damning statistic that no France player has scored for them in open play this tournament, 5 did in a shootout. Diogo Costa had saved a trio of Slovenian spot kicks in the last 16, but Ousmane Dembele, Youssouf Fofana, Jules Kounde and Bradley Barcola all found the net, allowing Theo Hernandez to set up a superpower semi-final against Spain. The ends can justify the means, and for Didier Deschamps, dullness has brought a fourth semi-final in the last 5 major tournaments. In the process, France conquered a demon or two. Eliminated from Euro 2020 on penalties, losing the 2022 World Cup final in a shootout, France avoided an unwanted hat-trick. They also gained a modicum of revenge for their Euro 2016 final defeat to Portugal. But one of the most eagerly anticipated games of the tournament was also among the dullest. Two teams of such talent showed precious little ambition. France were stymied by Deschamps' caution, Portugal by their increasingly weird refusal to play without Ronaldo, the man they refused to drop or substitute. With the players in each squad, it could have been a classic, but the highlight of the first hour instead was referee Michael Oliver running so fast his yellow card fell out of his pocket. The second hour was better but scarcely epic. Indeed, Dembele, who did not come on until the 67th minute, was named man of the match. Real Madrid's Galacticos past and future are yet to score in open play this tournament. Ronaldo skewed an injury-time shot way over, following quick footwork by Francisco Conceição, but neither came close to finding the net over 120 minutes. Mbappe did not complete them, Ronaldo did, scoring Portugal's first spot kick. And it long felt obvious they would be required. It had some of the essence of tournament football, the drawn-out nature of knockout ties, the sense one mistake could be fatal, the commensurate choice of caution. There seemed a shared sense of a grind to glory, that success involves suffering. There seemed something predictable in a goalless draw. There was an old-fashioned feel with players camped behind the ball, with precious little pressing. Deschamps picked a trio of defensive midfielders. Somewhere, José Mourinho was probably nodding approvingly. It was, as expected, a war of attrition, but there is a battle-hardened quality to this France side. The defining performances came from the defensively minded Pepe, Portugal's oldest man of war, celebrating after recovering to dispossess the far younger Marcus Thuram, N'Golo Kanté eating up ground as though he were a decade younger, Eduardo Camavinga, another of France's trio of 90 minutes, Mike Maignan with 2 fine blocks in as many minutes. The attackers offered too little. Mbappe provided glimpses of pace, and Rafael Leão at least tormented Kounde, albeit without much end product, in part because of a lack of movement in the middle. But with Antoine Griezmann at least restored to his preferred role as a number 10 ineffective, France had no creativity. With 10 men and a static deity, Portugal did not really have a center forward. Not that France were much more adventurous. The lone shot on target in the first half came from Hernandez, which Costa parried. There were only 4 off target, none from the player with the most goals in the European Championships and the one who may end up with the most in the World Cup. After a sterile hour, there came belated signs of life. Previously muted, Portugal suddenly created 2 fine chances. The initial incision came from João Cancelo, with a defense-splitting pass for Fernandes to drive a shot that Maignan parried. Then Leão picked out Vitinha, whose first-time shot was repelled by the goalkeeper. Tellingly, neither chance involved Ronaldo. France responded with 2 of their own. When Randal Kolo Muani escaped behind the Portugal defense, Ruben Dias did wonderfully to deflect his shot wide. An unmarked Camavinga dragged a shot wide. Yet that represented the most eventual spell. Nuno Mendes could have won it in the 120th minute, but penalties felt destined. And for Portugal, Felix's miss meant their tournament ended with a hugely gifted group feeling like underwhelming underachievers. From news to politics, travel to sport, culture to climate, The Independent has a host of free newsletters to suit your interests. To find the stories you want to read and more in your inbox, click here.